Good afternoon and welcome to Coping with COVID, updates on the pandemic and information to help you thrive and survive COVID-19. I'm Tre Tailor, and today we're going to talk with Dr. Jermaine Johnson. He is the former South Carolina campaign manager with Andrew Yang. He was one of the Yang gang in South Carolina. He's got a whole lot more that he's got going on. We're going to tell you more about that in just a short, but it is an amazing program that Andrew Yang is doing as far as basic income, and Jermaine actually convinced him to bring that to South Carolina. We're going to talk with Jermaine in just a few minutes about that and more today on Coping with COVID. But first, here's some COVID community updates. Of course, testing is still going on today and tomorrow at the South Carolina State Fairgrounds. You do need to register, so you can email Kroger Health /COVID testing to make your appointment. Testing is going on tomorrow from 10 a.m. until 4 p.m. DHEC and Prisma Health are offering testing also. You can go on either one of those websites to find out about their mobile testing, their drive-through testing, and they're doing several things in the community. PrismaHealth.org or scdhec.gov. Like I said, there you can find out about the various COVID testings that are free and necessary going on in and around South Carolina. And residents in most states can vote early. So in South Carolina, you do not have to wait for the June 9th primary. And there are several races coming up. Many of our state representatives and legislators, the coroner's race, and a couple of county council races. Again, you don't have to wait until June 9th. Here in Columbia, you can go to 2020 Hampton Street to the voter registration building from 8:30 until 5 o'clock, Monday through Friday, and go ahead and vote. Take a couple of people with you and make sure to exercise your right to vote. You can go to scvotes.com, as a matter of fact, for more information. Dr. Jermaine Johnson joins us today on Coping with COVID. He is a professor at Webster University. Again, he's former campaign manager with a South Carolina campaign manager with Andrew Yang. And he's also running for the House of Representatives, District 8. You're a busy man, sir.
Oh, my goodness. I am extremely busy.
Well, we were just talking. And I saw you several times on the campaign trail, and not that, like I said to you, that you got to know everybody, but it was like, I've never seen this person. Who is he? Who is this masked man? It's like I'd never seen you. And then, of course, since it was campaign time, I just kept seeing you. I don't think we ever spoke, but I read about this interesting proposal that Andrew Yang has. First, tell me how you got involved with him, Jermaine.
Oh, man. So, I'm involved with the Young Democrats of the Central Midlands, as well as the Young Democrats of South Carolina. During my time when I was researching the candidates that I was going to support, I came across Cory Booker. Mm-hmm. And I said, man, this guy is awesome. I like his oratory skills, the way he was speaking, he was giving me hope. I really love the way he was reaching out to, Black men in particular, and trying to solve some of the problems. But then I started doing my analyzing. And I said, man, he's making me feel good. I'm supporting him off of emotions. But, the same people that are supporting Trump are doing the same thing. They're supporting Trump off of emotions and feelings. And I'm thinking, like, if I support a man off of emotions and feelings, then I'm no better than a Trump supporter who's doing it off of emotions and feelings. Wow. So I said, you know what, let me look up, more candidates and see who's actually talking about solving problems and things that are going on. And that's when I came across an Asian guy that said he wanted to give everybody $1,000 a month. So I said, oh, Lord, I can use $1,000 a month.
I know that's right. Can't we all?
Yeah. So, I said, all right, well, let me do some more digging into this. At that time, I was working in workforce development. So I was, going around meeting with different companies and going to tours to really check out what the workforce was looking like and to find places to help the underserved get jobs. So I went to I was going to Michelin, and when I went to Michelin and did a tour there, and there was a big robotic arm that was moving pallets and things back and forth. And I'm like, man, Andrew Yang is talking about this automation stuff taking jobs, And then, you go to Walmart, you see nothing but self-checkout. 2 people working up front in self-checkouts.
That's
you
right.
go to Bi-Lo, nothing but self-checkouts. You go to CVS, self-checkouts. You go to Walgreens, anywhere you go right now, there's self-checkouts. I went to McDonald's. They had completely renovated the inside, and you don't even go to the counter no more. You use the screen and order your food.
Wow.
So I'm thinking, out of all that stuff, how many jobs, are leaving our communities?
Yeah.
And the straw that really broke the camel's back, I went to the Walmart that's in my community, in the rural community that I live in. And as I'm walking in the back to go get some water, there was a robot that rolled past me. And
really? In Hopkins?
Don't
you live in Hopkins?
Yes. And I'm looking around like, does anybody else see this robot that just rolled past me? So I asked the worker, I said, hey, what's this robot doing? They said it was cleaning the floors and counting inventory.
Wow.
And I'm thinking, how many jobs is that taken away? Mm-hmm. And this automation is not taking jobs away from the CEOs. It's taking the jobs away from people that look like me and you. People coming out of my community, the individuals who are just trying to get by, the individuals that are just trying to get a second opportunity after a mistake they probably made in their life. These are individuals who are just trying to start from the bottom up, teenagers and things like that. So I said, you know what? I got to get behind whatever this guy's talking about. So I was going to all my meetings. I'm part of the Democratic Black Caucus. I'm a Richland County Recreation Commissioner. I told you I'm part of the Young Democrats in South Carolina and Central Midlands. And I was telling everybody about Andrew Yang. I mean, I was talking about all of his policies. I was talking about him and what it would do for all of us and all of that. And at that same time, there were some volunteers that were calling the different organizations looking for supporters of Andrew Yang.
Right.
And they called my chair, and she said, listen, I got the perfect guy. All he does is talk about Andrew Yang. We have to literally shut him up from talking about Andrew Yang the entire meeting. So they called me. She gave them my number, and they called me, and I got to screaming. And I was like, yes, this is the guy I believe in, and they actually want me to help him out. So they asked me to set up his first weekend in South Carolina. Mm-hmm. And I pulled out all the stops. I called all my connections. Everybody asked for favors. He met with Mayor Benjamin when we came down here. I brought him down to the College of Charleston. I did a few events, brought him down to my church, and we did some good things. So after that weekend, Andrew called me personally, not on the burner phone that we all know that these politicians have, but on his personal cell phone, and called me and said, listen, Jermaine, you are obviously an asset and you're amazing and people love you. And I want to personally hire you right now. So he offered me a job right then. And I said, man, listen, I would have did it for free, but hey, I'm here because I believe in you.
And Jermaine, political jobs pay good, don't they?
They do. Pay very well.
Very well. They're very
good. Yes. I had a good time.
Yeah. Well, that's great. That's exciting that it was almost like you manifested it to happen.
Yeah. There's a lot of people that are here in South Carolina. When they saw that I was working and supporting Andrew Yang, they called me stupid. I was called names. They discouraged me from supporting them. How is this black man supporting this Asian guy? He'll be out in a month. He'll be out in 2 months. What he's talking about is not feasible. I mean, I was discouraged by everybody, but I said, man, listen, I believe in this man. I believe in it. So that's why, I really worked so hard for him because, what he was talking about really would have changed my upbringing. It would have changed my entire life. It would have changed everything. I've been homeless. I went to 7 different high schools. I lived in motels. Parents was addicted to drugs. I lost a brother to gang violence. All these different situations. I've been through all of that. And him as a president, his policies would have changed all of that. So it was personal to me.
Yeah. I mean, you're still passionate about it right now.
I am passionate, man.
But you know what, Jermaine? That is great because that's what we're supposed to do. Figure out who we like, who we support, who we have the same views with, and then support those people no matter what. I mean, you made a great point before we got on the air. That's what the Trump supporters do. No matter what they do, what he does or says, they are die-hard Trumpsters. Yeah. And like you said, people may have discouraged you or said some things, but we all have a right to believe in what we believe in and follow and support who we follow. And your perseverance and your dedication and your enthusiasm paid off for you.
Oh, it paid off handsomely. My loyalty and friendship with Andrew has paid off. I mean, they call me and text me still every day, just about. And we talk all the time. We talk often. They become more than just co-workers. They become friends and family. Yeah. Because I had other offers to leave the campaign, to go do other things, to go to somebody else's campaign. But I stayed loyal. I stayed loyal to to what he's doing, and that's why he's loyal to me now. It's
I hear you.
it's a friendship now.
Yeah, that's great. Candace Belton says, hello, everyone. Hey, Candace, thank you,
Hello.
everyone, for joining us on Coping with COVID. Dr. Jermaine Johnson is here. He is running for House of Representatives
80.
District 80 in the Hopkins Eastover area.
Mm-hmm. Yes, ma'am.
Yeah.
All the way up to Kershaw County.
And he is a former member of the Yang Gang, former presidential candidate Andrew Yang. Now, tell me about his basic income plan. What universal basic income? What is he? What was the premise behind that, Jermaine? Because that's something that he did talk about during the candidacy.
Yes. So the universal basic income was his flagship proposal. That was the thing that he was really running on and wanted everybody to really understand what it was all about. So the universal basic income is giving every American age 18 and over until the day that they die $1,000 a month. And so if you're a married couple, that's $24 extra $1,000 comes to your household every single year. Right. And we know the level of poverty is at $12,000. So that's kind of where that number came from. It's like, all right, well, let's give everybody a starting line. You can't put everybody at zero and say, all right, pull yourself up by your bootstraps. We heard Martin Luther King say, you can't do that. It's irresponsible to tell the Negro to pull himself up by his bootstrap if he has no bootstrap.
If he has no boots,
So I mean, it makes absolutely no sense, right? So this is something that Martin Luther King actually talked about, was a guaranteed annual income, and we actually met with Martin Luther King III about all of this as well in Atlanta. Myself, Andrew, and him, and we talked about these different things and this guaranteed annual income of $1,000 a month. So, this thing actually is not new. It's been around for years. It's been in the House of Representatives in 1970, I think, 1970 and 1971. It passed, but then it failed in the Senate. It's been around, Thomas Paine talked about it way back in the 1700s. I mean, it's been here for a long time. And Andrew just brought it back to make it, relevant again.
Mary Huddleston Jackson joined us. She says, good afternoon. Good afternoon to you too, Mary. We're talking to Dr. Jermaine Johnson. He is an instructor, a professor at Webster University and former South Carolina campaign manager with Andrew Yang. He's telling us about the universal basic income plan. So was the plan that Andrew was talking about, Jermaine, to give everyone, was it a certain economic level or a certain, did you have to make a certain amount to get this $1,000 a month every month? And
that's the amazing thing about it. No, everybody was to get it from bottom to top. Everybody would get $1,000 a month, age 18 and older. And the reason why, forever until you die. Forever until you die. Yes, ma'am.
Now, where was the money supposed to come from, Jermaine?
And that's exactly what I was about to go into. So a lot of people, they didn't understand the whole policy. So I went around South Carolina explaining everything about this policy and how it would help individuals like you and me. So the money is, I usually ask this question: do you use Amazon?
Mm-hmm.
Yeah.
I just ordered something last night.
I know you did. All right. You've got social media. We're on social media right now, right? Yeah. So all these companies are using your data, and they're selling all of your data to other companies to make money off you. That's why they're selling this advertisement. That's why you see specific ads that pop up on your screen. They got your data, they sold it to somebody, and now they know what you like. So because of that particular situation, he was going to put a tax on things like that. So putting a tax and giving you back the money that was already yours in the first place. So it wasn't a handout. It was literally giving you back something that's been taken from you, because people are taking your data and selling it. So he was going to put a value added tax on certain staples that were like luxury items, like yachts and things like that, where people are really, buying, but not us common people. So, you were going to have to spend literally, I think it was $120,000 for that actual $1,000 for you to not get any benefit out of it. So, people like people I went to go see in Sellers in Marion County, they were like, man, this would completely revitalize our entire community, because that would have been an extra $432,000 every single month coming into their community. And they were just like, yes, we're all Yang Gang now. So
Cynthia Watson says hello, Trey, and hello to Dr. Jermaine Johnson. Also, Deja
Hello.
Bostic says, hey, Trey. Hey, Deja. So great to see you guys. Thank you so much for joining us. Shalonda Armstead says, hey, Trey. Hey, Shalonda. Thank you for joining us on Coping with COVID. Dr. Jermaine Johnson joins us. He is a former South Carolina campaign manager with Andrew Yang, and explaining to us right now Andrew's universal basic income plan. And this was what he kind of campaigned on last year, right, Jermaine?
Yes. And you can actually thank Andrew for the fact that we even got this stimulus money, because that's where it came from. It came from Andrew. The White House called him when this situation happened, and they wanted his input on all this. So, a lot of this stuff came from Andrew Yang. I mean, we know what the stimulus would have done. Now, you got that stimulus check. Can you imagine getting that every single month?
Right.
I mean, it would be a game changer.
It's a game changer. Yeah. It would be a game changer for everyone. Yeah. So you said that they asked Andrew kind of what his thought process was, what he was thinking about, and did he help craft the actual distribution of it? Yeah.
So he gave all of his ideas and all that stuff to the White House and to everybody else who asked for, the economists and all that. Because in the very, very beginning, when he first introduced this idea, he said, "Listen, I mean, I don't have to be the president, but somebody needs to talk about these problems, and somebody needs to take on this idea." So he was completely fine. He just literally wanted to solve the problems. He was a very selfless individual who really was like, "Listen, I don't need the fame and the fortune. Let's just solve the problems."
Yeah, Cassandra Moody says hello to both of us. Dr. Jermaine Johnson joins us, telling us about Andrew Yang's plan for universal basic income. So this is what he campaigned on. You just shared with us that he actually helped craft the $1,200 stimulus payments, and now he's doing a test, so to speak, around the country. So tell us about the test, what he's trying to do now, Jermaine.
Yes. So after his campaign ended, he started this organization called Humanity Forward. And Humanity Forward is literally around just to give people little micro grants and just little micro payments to people. So he's going out and he's getting certain people that are all over the internet, just randomly sending them $250 here, $1,000 here, $500 here, helping people to get through hard times. I mean, they've been doing this for a little while now. So, recently they introduced this idea to go to Hudson, New York, and give some families $500 a month for 5 years. So he's doing this all across the country right now. He's been helping individuals out. He's also been endorsing UBI supporters who are running for office. So now, because he's been a good friend of mine, and I had talked to them, and I said, man, it would be great to see this type of an idea to come to South Carolina, and now we have it in South Carolina.
And voila, yeah. So tell me what he's just. So he's looking for, you all are looking for 2 South Carolinians to give $1,000 a month to for 12 months.
For a full year. Yes, ma'am. So this the whole premise of it is to show that, what the universal basic income can do for families in our communities. And, my whole thing is I always want to create relationships to bring resources to South Carolina. And this relationship that I've created it's allowed me and afforded me the opportunity to coerce or, work with individuals to bring resources to South Carolina. And, now that he's doing this trial run here in South Carolina, there will be 2 families that are going to benefit from this $1,000 a month for a full year. But it's not only the families that are going to benefit from it. Imagine if somebody in a small or rural community here in Kershaw or Richland County get that money is going to go directly to those communities, to those small mom and pop places, to those, those individuals around the corner, those, let me give little Johnny, $5 or $10 to come mow my lawn. Let me get somebody to go pick up my groceries. Imagine what that money is going to do for that community and the people around that money. I mean, it is an absolute amazing opportunity.
Right, because it's going to infuse the economy, because you've got money, you're going to spend money. I mean, we saw this, like you said, with the stimulus check, and it's so interesting because even though people were unemployed and having problems paying their bills, when they got that stimulus check, research shows people were spending it.
Yes. Yes. Yeah.
You
And
know,
that's exactly
not on
that's the whole
bills.
point.
Yeah,
That's the whole point. Give people some money so they can spend it. You know, they're
yeah,
going to spend it, and that's what we want to. That's what we want to see. We
yeah.
want to see people spend this money and help their communities. We want to. It's not about the big cities. The big cities are all right, but let's talk about the small rural communities
Exactly.
where this money will be a lifeline. I mean, it
Yeah.
would be an absolute lifeline to these small rural communities.
Right. Jewel Harrison says great information. Michelle Keir says she'll take it. And Cynthia Watson says with the United States having a 20% unemployment rate, UBI would ease the stress for families everywhere. You're absolutely
Absolutely.
right, Cynthia.
Absolutely.
You know, and a lot of people believe that the government should be giving back to taxpayers. We're taxpayers. I mean,
Yeah.
ultimately, like with the stimulus checks, if you've been paying into the system, you kind of, that's your money anyway.
Yeah, it's your money anyways. And they're making all this money off the backs of your information anyways. The DMV got a lot of your information and sold it to some companies. The DMV made money off of you.
Wow.
I mean, all these people here are making money off of you. You have data, they're called data miners, right? We've got data miners right here in Columbia, South Carolina, that all they do is get paid to find information and sell it.
Wow.
So, so because of all of that situation there, that they're getting paid off of that, you can't even charge money for your own data, but yet they can charge money for your data. It makes no sense that, people should be making money off of your name, off of the fact that you want to buy a new toaster, off of that. They should not be able to make money off of that. You're
right. You're right. F. Maxine Moses says she's up to being involved in research. And Michelle Keir says this is such a blessing to the community. Okay, so tell us, how can you be one of these people? So what do you have to do? Do you have to, right? Cynthia Watson says, how do we sign up? So are there qualifications? What would be the ideal person? Who are you looking for?
So there are no qualifications to get this to be a part of this trial program. All you have to do is be age 18 and up. So I think
either live in Kershaw County.
You have to live in Kershaw. Yeah, you have to live in Kershaw or Richland County. So you live in be a resident of Kershaw or Richland County, and just be age 18 and up. There's no income. There's no, there's none of that stuff that's going on. It's just, listen, it's going to be a random selection. I have nothing to do with the selection. I don't even know wwho's signing up.
Right.
So
right.
All I'm here to pass the message and the information along so people can take advantage of it. There was a few news stories on it, but I don't think enough people are knowing about it.
Yeah.
Because people need to be talking about the fact that, this money can literally change somebody's life. I mean, it can start a business.
Right. You can just pay your bills,
Yeah, you can just pay your bills for a month.
Start a business. I mean, some people just need, especially now, since we're going through this, a lot of people have lost jobs. They've lost their livelihoods. They've lost businesses. So this would be, as you say, a game changer. Just, it would be great if someone would start a business or something, and that could happen. But this could just help somebody get over the hump.
Yes. It can really, spark somebody's, hope back into society, and they get hope. And let's say they get the hope and they start that small business. Now they get to employ other people in the community.
Exactly.
It's a whole chain reaction.
Yeah. And I was going to say, it just goes back to what you're saying, that when we then give back because we are pouring back into the community. So we are helping to nourish, restart, invigorate the community, Yeah. So Cassandra says the information everybody wants to know. And Marvell Mendenhall says, yes, and yes. So you say you just have to either live in Kershaw or Richland County, be 18 years or older. Now, Jermaine, is there I know you say that's the only qualification, but is there a certain person that you're looking for?
There's a certain person that I would like, me personally, that I would like to see get it. I would like to see somebody, an elder. I would like to see an elder, who's living on a fixed income, somebody, who has to choose between food or prescription, medication, or somebody like that. I would personally like to see somebody like that get that blessing, because that would take so much pressure off of them for at least a year, and allow them to at least ease the stress and ease their mind and take a few days to really collect themselves and breathe.
Yeah.
I mean, right now, what we're seeing just in society right now. I did a live yesterday where I was like, I just want a day off. I want a day off from being a black man. I want a vacation right now from being a black man. And I would like somebody who's an elder to actually have this opportunity, or like Cynthia said, a single parent. Somebody who can really benefit from it, not somebody who's that's like I can use it or I don't have to use it. I want somebody who's like, man, I'm in dire need of something.
I really need this money. That would be wonderful. But as you said, you're not making the decisions. So
I don't make decisions.
Right, you don't make the decisions. So all right. So Jermaine, what do people need to do if they want to apply for this $1,000 a month? And Marvell says she's in Lexington County. Well, Marvell, you may want to move. I don't know.
So there's a website. It's movehumanityforward.com.
MoveHumanityForward.com.
MoveHumanityForward.com. And there's a link on there that says, the UBI for South Carolina demonstration. And once you get in there, just go on there and click, apply. And then it's going to ask you some simple questions, and you're going to fill out the simple questions. And then that will be it. The application deadline is Sunday. May 31st. It's been open for over a week. Wow.
So application Sunday at midnight, Jermaine. It's Sunday at midnight.
I believe so. Yeah.
So it's MoveHumanityForward.com /SC.
Yes.
Yes. MoveHumanityForward.com /SC. MoveHumanityForward.com. Thank you, Michelle. /SC. Go on there and apply. What does the application look like, Jermaine?
It's just a few questions. Ask you basic information. Do you live in this county or that county? What are some what would this money do for you? Tell us a little bit about yourself, your situation, what's going on. Just some background information as to help them to choose the correct person.
Right. Now, so the deadline is Sunday, and then how long before they choose someone? Two people. South Carolina.
So they should be announcing on June 5th. It should be announced on June 5th. But so that was the original date that they came up with, June 5th.
All right, go to MoveHumanityForward.com and apply for this $1,000 a month. $1,000 a month for 12 months, essentially $12,000 that you will get. And so will it just be like on a debit card? Will they get a direct deposit? Do you know how?
So I'm not sure how they're going to set that up. I believe it'll be a direct deposit type setup. That's what they had when they've done this before. It was a direct deposit. But we'll get more information about that. They're going to be calling people after Sunday. They're going to start calling people and vetting people.
Oh, okay.
To say, hey, just hey, what's going on? We see that you've applied, yada yada yada, and do all that stuff. And they'll get all that information then.
All right, Move Humanity Forward. Thank you, Michelle.com. Fill out the application. The deadline is Sunday at midnight. And then on June 5th, they're going to make a choice. Two people in South Carolina, one from Kershaw County and one from Richland County are going to receive $1,000 a month. So after that happens, Jermaine, will they have to be involved in any type of research or any type of question? Are the people with you guys with Move Humanity Forward kind of monitor their actions, their spending, or whatever, to see if this works? Because this is an experiment to see if this universal basic income works.
Yeah, so there'll be basic questions and asking for information like, what'd you spend your money on this past month? I mean, it doesn't matter what you spend your money on. You just let us know what you spent your money on, so we can show and have this data to say, hey, look, they spent the bulk of their money on food and resources to live, stuff like that. Just so we could take that to take it to Washington or take it to the State House, so we can fight for this thing for everybody in South Carolina.
Yeah, that's huge. That's huge. So MoveHumanityForward.com. Fill out the application. The deadline is this Sunday, June 5th. The Move Humanity Forward folks are going to make a decision, and you could get $1,000 a month for 12 months. Now, after they make the announcement on June 5th, when do folks start getting their $1,000 in June?
I don't know. We'll have to ask them about that. I'm not sure when they start getting their money. I would hope that they would start getting it immediately,
Yeah.
But I don't know what all the particulars are in terms of when they'll start getting paid. All I know is they get that money for an entire year, and
Yeah.
I mean, whenever it gets there, it will be a blessing for anybody who's receiving it. So like I said, we want to use this data to move this whole thing forward. And I've been talking about an idea that I have for the state of South Carolina itself, and that's called the Palmetto Dividend Fund. And the Palmetto Dividend Fund is actually a stipend, a $400 stipend that you would get every single year from the state of South Carolina. And this is because 40% of Americans cannot afford an unexpected $400 bill. So with this $400 a year stipend, this would allow you to pay for that $400 bill that most of us cannot afford.
Right.
So that's something that I'm trying to get past once I get elected, and to bring that to the state of South Carolina for everybody.
So again, Jermaine, I have to ask again, where is this $400 going to come from? And are you thinking everybody can get this $400, or you just get it kind of pulled from it when you need it?
So you can pull from it when you need it. Yeah, it's a $400 stipend that you would be able to get. You can pull from when you need. That money is going to come from a couple of different sources. So one of the sources that we have is from an increase in a tax on luxury items. So most of us aren't buying luxury items, and you would have to literally spend more than $40,000 in a year for that $400 to not benefit you, for it to have actually cost you something. Do you spend $40,000 on luxury items a year?
No.
Yeah.
Not in 10 years. I don't.
So that's what it is. So it would come from an increase in the sales tax on luxury items, and also we have a surplus where it was $1.9 billion surplus in South Carolina this past year. All right, so because we have that $1.9 billion surplus, every year we have an $863 million reoccurring surplus. So 80 million of that 863 reoccurring will come and go straight into this fund to give to the people of South Carolina.
Okay. All right. And that's something, like you said, that you want to implement because I heard you say once you win this.
Yeah, once I'm elected. Yes, when I'm elected, that is something that I will be trying to get passed and implement it.
Right. Cynthia did ask, is this initiative part of your platform for state representative?
Yes, it is. It is part of my platform. You can actually read about it on my website, where we've got it all the way broken down as to where the money's come from and how it's going to be used and why we chose the number. It's even got the logo of the dividend on there. So the PDF, the Palmetto Dividend Fund.
Yeah. Matt Noor says, no policy can change overnight the mindset of racism, scarcity, discrimination, prejudice, misogyny, of course. But if you put money in our hands, then overnight we'll pretty much eradicate poverty, and people of color and women especially will have immediate increase in power, mobility, freedom from financial stress, flexibility, mental health, safer communities, and job creation. Yeah,
absolutely. The universal basic income. So I did all the calculations, and just in the hands of Black women alone, if that universal basic income came here to South Carolina, in the hands of Black women alone, $555 million every single month, just in the hands of Black women.
Right.
So I mean, you have to think about what that could do for the entire state, how that could empower people. That would allow the woman who's being abused or being in a situation to actually say, you know what, let me get up and leave. I don't have to worry about this mess anymore. Or the individual who's working at the restaurant, who's saying, I'm tired of my boss, making passes at me and I can leave. Or I'm tired of dealing with my family situation. I can leave. I can actually leap out on faith. I can step out on faith. This will give people some hope to actually do something.
Yeah, like Matt says, money can change your whole trajectory of your life. And for the most part, people are going to be pretty much responsible with that money because they need it. Yeah, Marvell Williams Mental Health says it's empowerment. It's empowerment. Matt says exactly. You're right, Matt. Because that's what folks need. They just want a fair shake.
That's it.
People just want the opportunity to be able to take care of their families, pay their bills, and live a good life.
Absolutely.
And like you said, like Matt said, it's the stress and the anguish and the pent up, the built up anxiety that makes folks do things that they would not normally do.
Yeah. Can you imagine how people would be feeling right now if they, let's say they had this UBI already implemented, how people would be feeling right now in the midst of this global pandemic?
Right, exactly.
You know, we would have that. It would still be bad, but it would not be as bad. You know, we'd be like, okay, well, at least I can do something. You know, I can feed myself at least.
Right. At least I know I've got this $1,000 a month. Yeah. That's going to come, because right now, you know, people are getting the unemployment, and that's great. The extra $600 is huge. And then, you know, we got this $1,200. Some people got more than that based on their family size. But right now, people don't know if they're going to get any more. I mean, it's so much in limbo. And we are seeing the stress and anxiety going up because, again, like Matt mentioned, it's all about the dollar bill, y'all.
Yes.
I mean, it is.
Yes.
You know, Michelle Keir says, thanks for this information. Knowledge is power. Sure enough, Michelle. So please continue to post and share out this interview so we can empower some people to be part of this experiment for universal basic income. Marvell says, yes, that's all I want to do for my family. That's right. It's all
and that's what most people want to do. This is why Andrew Yang was able to pull people from both sides of the aisle. He had a lot of Republicans. So his first town hall that he had here in South Carolina, I had Congressman Clyburn come, as well as Jennifer Clyburn to be the moderator. And when he came, Andrew starts off his town hall by saying, well, how many of you all in here are Republicans? You know, half the room raise their hand. How many of y'all are Democrats? Half the room raise their hand. Then he said, what about independents and green? Some of the people over here raise their hand. People over there raise their hand. He was able to literally pull people together and bring them to the room and collectively speak to their concerns. And it's exactly what even the people on this live are feeling. They just want to have a normal life. They just want to be able to feed their families. They just want to be able to go to work and come home and have their kids not to be worried about what's for dinner and if the lights are going to turn on. You know, what's going to happen. They just want to live a normal life. And this will do that.
And you know what, Jermaine, here's the thing about that. It doesn't have anything to do with your education level.
Nothing.
There are folks out there that have, you know, doctorates, that have PhDs, and they still can't get it together, can't make it. You know, it's just the system is just not set up, unfortunately, for everyone to have an equal playing ground. It's just not. You know, let's not talk about, you know, the race thing and women. You know, I mean, you know, women are traditionally paid less than men. African Americans and people of color, Hispanics, are traditionally paid less than non-ethnics. You know, so. I mean, shoot, you know, as Marvell says, she sent her son to college and he not have college debt when he graduates. She, you know, come on. That's the other thing. We're coming out of college and cannot get ahead because we're starting off.
You're starting off in the hole.
Starting off in the negative. So, I hear you. So, again, it is the website. Once again, I'm going to go back up here, movehumanityforward.com, movehumanityforward.com. Andrew Yang is doing an experiment with his universal basic income here in South Carolina. Go to movehumanityforward.com and apply. One person from Kershaw County, one person from Richland County will receive $1,000 a month. You've got until Sunday to apply, and they're going to make the decision June 5th. So after a year, after this experiment, then what happens? He will then go to Congress and say, hey, this worked. You guys should do this too. Is that the plan?
He's essentially going to continue doing this, you know, for the life of however long it takes to get this passed. Okay. It's a global movement right now. Other countries are already doing it. And we're doing different trial programs across the United States right now. There's a stipend program that happens in Alaska right now. Every year, individuals get between $1,000 and $2,000 per year just for living in Alaska and being a resident of Alaska. And that's paid for off of oil. It's an oil dividend. So he's trying to get this thing passed all across America through Congress. And because Congress, we have the money, we can pay for it, and we can afford what we're trying to get done. So he's going to continue to fight for this. Hopefully in 2024 he runs for president again, and this time we get to see what we got to do. Or if in 2024 we have Joe Biden, that's still fine, because I believe Joe Biden will have Andrew Yang in his cabinet, and we'll still be able to get this thing passed.
That's great. MoveHumanityForward.com, MoveHumanityForward.com. Go there, fill out the short application, Jermaine says, and by Sunday, which is the deadline, we'll know which two people from Richland and Kershaw counties get this $1,000 a month. Now, you say he's doing it in some other states. What other states are participating right now? I know you said Alaska. What other states?
Yeah, so he's doing the program in New York as well. He's giving like 20 families $500 a month for like 5 years. He's been giving like another individual in Iowa $1,000 a month for a year. He has done some stuff in California. So I mean, he's literally trying to get these things all over the United States. So I'm excited to see where he goes next with this thing, to see what other states we can get this thing done in. But currently, like I said, he's giving out micro grants all over the place. The owner and CEO of Twitter just gave him $5 million to continue this effort.
Wow.
Yeah,
wow.
So we've got an additional $5 million to keep just giving out to people. I mean, every day they're just giving out money to individuals who are asking for it. Because people need to have some money to make it through these hard times.
I know, that's right. F. Maxine Moses said, done. They put it out. And Marvell Williams Mendenhall says, thank you so much for this information on the platform. Thank you so much, Marvell, for watching Coping with COVID. Maxine wants to know, can you submit more than one application for yourself?
Not for yourself, but I encourage you to have everybody in your family. So if you're married, have you and your husband, and if you got a son that's 18, have them do it. If you got a daughter that's 18, have them do it. So I encourage you to have everybody in your family, because like we were saying earlier, you may not be the individual who is picked, but it will benefit your family.
Right,
so
it could be somebody in your family. Yeah, that's good. That's good to know. Move Humanity for daggone Michelle Kears, you are on it today. MoveHumanityForward.com. Michelle, I'm going to ask Andrew Yang for some money so I can hire you. I want to hire you to be my social media person. MoveHumanityForward.com. MoveHumanityForward.com. That's good stuff, Jermaine. That is so exciting. That is so exciting. Yes. All right, MoveHumanityForward.com. That's the website address to go on there, register, fill out the application. Jermaine says it's a short application. On Sunday, someone from Kershaw County and someone from Richland County will be chosen to get $1,000 a month for 12 months as part of the basic income, the universal basic income plan, and have all of your family members fill out the application. Daggone Michelle Kears, girl. I'm going to give her a high five. Give her a high 10. So Jermaine, now before we leave, I know that you're also running. You're running for District 80, House of Representatives.
Yes, ma'am.
And tell me about your race. Tell me about the race.
Yes, well, I'm excited to have this opportunity to run to represent the individuals of my community. It is, pretty much Lower Richland all the way up to Kershaw County. It goes all through there, and it comes back down through Fort Jackson and back down Garners Ferry. So I'm coming to just bring a new type of leadership to my area. The individual who's there, he's been there for 20 plus years. And I just want to, I've been thanking him for his leadership and his service for the past 20 plus years, but now it's just time to move in a different direction. You have an individual like myself who represents and looks and sounds like the community and is of the community. And I want to be the individual who talks to the young people to be an example for these current and future generations that your past does not define your future. I've told people all the time, how I was homeless and how I've lived in motels and how I went to 7 different high schools and how, how I lost a brother to gang violence and, how my, all the drugs and addictions and things my family has suffered from. But how I have broken a generational curse that was going in my family. Right. And I want to, and I'm married to the beautiful Dr. Evan Johnson. She is a pharmacist. So we have 2 doctors. I'm Dr. Johnson. She's a doctor. And and I get to show people, and I get to show the young people that are in my community that you can be who you want to be. You can grow up to be who you want to grow up to be. I mean, you can grow, you can be an example, and you can break generational curses just like I did. I want to be that spark for the people of my community because of, what they had been going on. My community down in Eastover, 54% of the people down there are living in poverty.
Right.
Hopkins, over 17% of the individuals down there living in poverty. And the highest percentage of people living in poverty are between the age of 12 and 14. These individuals, they need somebody. Representation matters. They need somebody that looks like them, so they can say, "Man, this man he's tangible."
Right.
Look at him. He's a real person, and I get to actually see him and talk to him and figure it out. What bounce ideas off of this individual and figure out what I need to do to get where he's at.
Right. And he looks like me. He's been where I've been. I can relate to him. If he did it, I can too.
Yes.
Tom Breeden says, preach, new era 80. Cynthia Watson says, money is the great equalizer. Yeah, absolutely. So that's good. So good luck. So on June 9th, are you in the primary June 9th? I
am. I'm in the primary on June 9th, but if you can vote now, vote now. I'm encouraging people to vote early or request the absentee. I think the deadline is today to request your absentee vote.
Yes.
But I'm telling everybody, just stay home if you can. Stay home if you can. Go vote early. This pandemic has not left yet. As you saw, the other day, we were number one in America in new cases. So stay safe. I did an interview with the state newspaper, and they were asking me about campaigning through the COVID situation. And I told them, I said, hey, man, listen, if I lose because people stayed home to stay safe, then so be it. I'd rather save a life than win an election.
Yeah. So it's June 9th. And as you said, please vote. And you can, as I said at the beginning, go down to the voter registration place and vote now. And as you said, today is the final day. Go to scvotes.org for you to, or you can go to Turn South Carolina Blue, right? Cynthia Watson is in the website. Can you put the website on this, Cynthia Watson? When I spoke with Matt Kit Keisner with the Richland County Democratic Party, he said that the party has a website where people can go and they can help them fill out those forms so that they can mail in a form if they want to. Michelle Keir says, the words of Dr. Jermaine Johnson, I want to be the spark for my community. She says that's powerful.
Thank you so much.
Cynthia says you've been a great advocate in Hopkins with Representative Wendy Brawley, who's done some great.
Yeah, that is. I love Rep Brawley. I love her. She has done more work in this past year than other reps have done in the past 5 years.
Yeah.
I mean, I cannot wait to get alongside of her and move Lower Richland to where we know it can be.
Yeah, that's good stuff. So Candace is asking, how can we contact you if we want to talk to you and get your support on some things in the community? And that's what I was going to ask you. Jermaine, can you give us some contact information, please?
Yes. So you can actually email me at info@johnsonforsc.com. 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 You can actually call my office whenever you want. I'm in my office right now. 803-317-2192. I answered. So I had some seniors that called me yesterday, and they didn't know how to get their absentee ballot. And I said, hold on one second. So I called down to the Richland County office and made sure that they can get the information and all that. And I found all the stuff, and I called them back and gave them what they needed. So I mean, I'm here to assist. I'm a servant of the community, and that's what I want to continue to be. I mean, I want to use the energy that I have now so I can make the change that needs to be done right now. We can't wait any longer. We're tired of waiting. There's no more time to wait. We've got to do this stuff now.
Jewel Harrison says, thank you, Dr. Johnson. Wishing you well on your election. All right, give us that phone number and that email address again, Jermaine.
info@johnsonforsc.com. Oh, look at Michelle. Michelle is on it, ain't it?
Let me tell you something.
I'm gonna get her to work for me.
Well, maybe Andrew can pay her.
We get her and 803-317-2192.
All right, 317-2192. And Cynthia has that votebluesc.com. That's the email address if you want to do your mail-in ballot. And today is the deadline, though. Go to votebluesc.com, and they can actually help walk you through that. Matt Kisner with the South Carolina Democratic Party was with Richland County Democratic Party was with me last week, and he said it's kind of a complicated process, but they can help walk you through that. Kassan Breeden says, Columbia, y'all come out and support my former great leader for that community. And Marvell says, you better do that doggone thing, Michelle. Michelle, get ready to get That's right. Thank you so much, Candace says. I would love to talk to you. Thank you for being a great leader in the community. That's what Candace Belton says.
You,
and of course, Michelle has your phone number, 803-317-2192, 803-317-2192. Jermaine, thank you so much for joining us, for like everyone said, just for being such a great leader, a wonderful young man that is being an example. You're not just talking it. Talk, you being about it, you doing the thing, you know what I mean? And it's easy to sit at the barbershop when we could sit at the barbershop. We can't do that anymore, but sit down and talk about things that we want to do, or talk about things that we're mad about. But it's a whole nother thing, man, to be out here on the front lines and trying to do the right thing for the community. It is up to us, and I truly believe this. Those of us who know some things, those of us who are assertive, because here's the thing, everybody is not, this doesn't have the same personality type. There are going to be some people that need help. There are going to be some leaders, some followers. And there's so many people that are leaders and that do have the energy and the know-it-all and the wherewithal and the knowledge that just sit by the sidelines, or they got a little bit of power and they're still not doing anything. So I applaud you for doing it, because it's not easy being out there in front.
Ooh, Lord have mercy. You are right. But thank you so much. Thank you so much. And, I mean, it's worth it. Yes, ma'am.
Yeah, your whole thing, you're just out there. You're just out there. You're just out there. People can, come at you any kind of way for you. Yeah. Just like you said, when you decided to go with Andrew Yang, people came at you, but you said, no, this is who I believe in. Yeah. And, I'm going to go with them. Marvell Williams Mendenhall says, that's right. You got to be about it and not talk about it. So Candace, go ahead. What were we going to say, Jermaine?
And I have to, I really want to piggyback off of what you just said right there. Is the fact that, I stayed with Andrew, even when, people were saying this or that and whatever. But the fact that I stayed loyal and I stayed with Andrew and my beliefs has now helped 2 families in South Carolina.
That's right.
I mean,
it is amazing. You asked Andrew to bring it here. Yeah.
So I mean, just think about that. What loyalty does and how it pays off. For people. Me staying loyal and ignoring people who did not believe in what I believed in has now paid off will pay off for 2 families and essentially help 2 communities in South Carolina, because I made a decision that I made. It's a powerful thing.
It is a powerful thing. I mean, because here's the thing. You could have just kept your relationship with Andrew, and whatever happens with him, he was going to look out. But you not only did that, you said, listen, I'm here in this community. Can we do something to help my community?
Yes.
That's huge. That's huge. Candace does want to know. She has one more question. She said, what helped you with your leadership skills? She wants to know what made you go to the front lines and not let fear grip you.
I've been homeless. The first memory of my life is my brother ran away from home, and he was murdered by a guy who was supposed to be his best friend.
Wow.
I like I said, I lived in motels most of my life, and when I fought to make it through some things. My brother did 6 years in the penitentiary. My parents, they were drug addictions and things like that. So with me when I came to South Carolina for basketball and I played basketball, I went through everything and ended up getting a house and working at the Midlands Fatherhood Coalition and helping men to increase their involvement in the lives of their children. I was at home one day and I was mowing my lawn at the house, and I was mad. I was mad because it was hot, and South Carolina is hot, and I couldn't deal with this. And I was like, oh my God. But then I got an unspeakable feeling over my soul. And I stopped right there on my lawnmower and I began to cry. And I just let it all out. And I started thanking God right there on my lawnmower. And I said, man, I have me a yard. I got me a yard. I got
Right,
me a yard.
right,
I said,
right.
man, I ain't never had nothing in my life. And I'm out here complaining and upset about mowing my lawn that I've never had. You
Mm-hmm.
know, and from there, it was, man, I don't want anybody to have to deal with the things that I've been through, but be humble and be appreciative of what you have. You know, we can do what we want to do. We can be as great as we want to be, as long as we have individuals who are willing to go speak and be about it and be an example to the people that need to see it. You know, so I want to be a tangible example to these people to let them know that you can do it and you should be appreciative of what you got.
Yeah, yeah. Mary Huddleston Jackson says, thank you, Dr. Johnson. You've got a wonderful spirit and this will take you far. She says she'll be praying for you with your election. She says she's not in the district, but her family votes in every election. God bless you. Raina Perry says, keep speaking truth. And Kassan Breeden says, keep going, bruh. Kassan says she got you. Yeah, and Marvell Williams Mendenhall says God's continued blessings to both of you. Thank you so much, Marvell. Again, give your phone number one more time, give your email address one more time, and then we'll give the great testimony Lorraine Dunbar says. Raina says we need more Black men to advocate. Great testimony. Cynthia Watson said that's deep. Give us your contact information one more time, Jermaine, please.
Yes, it is info@johnsonforsc.com. And you can call me at 803-317-2192.
All right, 803-317-2192. And then, of course, we gave the website for the Universal Basic Income again on Sunday. That is the final day for you to register or apply for the $1,000 a month. You could get $1,000 for 12 months. 1 month at a time through the Universal Basic Income Program. And Sunday's the deadline. They're going to make the decision June 5th. MoveHumanityForward.com. You can see the email at the website there, MoveHumanityForward.com. Somebody from Richland County, somebody from Kershaw County is going to get it, and it could be you. And even Jermaine said, everybody in your family can apply. You don't have to apply but one time. It's not like, you stuff the box and, it's going to be that kind of thing. Yeah. But everybody in your family can certainly apply. MoveHumanityForward.com. Thank you again so much, Jermaine. This has just been so great. I've just had such an honor talking to you. And it's so funny. Like I said, I've seen you. I saw you early last year, on the campaign trail. We were both working on some different campaigns. And I kept saying that I'd never met you, but you were so quiet. I didn't see all this. I didn't see all this. You were very talented. You were just very quiet, very reserved.
Yeah, I think that's one of my problems that I've kind of grown into is not being very braggadocious. And my business partner, he says I'm too humble. He says I'm way too humble, and I need to speak more in terms of this stuff. But I mean, I do things out of the kindness of my heart, and I don't look for all the praise. I just want things to be better for people.
Right. If you got some great information out of this, and then there was such great information, please continue to post and share this interview so we can share this important message to the masses. Also, please like and follow me on Facebook and Instagram. Like Jermaine, I've got 5,000 people on both of our Facebook pages. We can friend each other. But please go to my professional page, Tre Tailor, and also my company page, Tailor Made Productions. And we can follow you on social media too, right, Jermaine?
Yes. Johnson for House District 80. Mm-hmm.
Johnson for House District 80. And also, please go to my YouTube channel and hit like. Now, if you have a COVID-related product, service, or message that you could think help someone, please let me know, and let's talk about how you can be on Coping with COVID. You can email thetailormadeproductions@gmail.com, or you can inbox me on Facebook. I always leave with a reading from Jesus Calling, unless, of course, you want to pray. Do you want to pray, Jermaine?
Come on now. Give it to me now. No, I want to hear this.
Okay, you want to hear the Jesus call? Okay,
yeah.
I was gonna say, all right. I was gonna say, if you want to pray, we can pray. Okay, this is my favorite prayer journal. Have you ever heard of Jesus Calling, Jermaine?
I have not.
It's so good. It's so good. No matter when you read it, you get something good out of it. Here we go. I am with you, watching over you constantly. This is Jesus talking. I am Emmanuel, God with you. My presence enfolds you in radiant love. Nothing, including the brightest blessings or the darkest trials, can separate you from me and me from you. Some of my children find me more readily during dark times when difficulties force them to depend on me. Others feel close to me when their lives are filled with good things. They respond with thanksgiving and praise, thus opening wide the door to my presence. I know precisely what you need to draw me nearer to you. Go through each day looking for what I've prepared for you. Accept every event as my hand tailored provision for your needs. When you view your life this way, the most reasonable response is to be thankful. Do
Mm.
not reject any of my gifts, even if you don't think they are gifts,
Mm.
and find
Mm.
me in every situation. Man,
Mm.
what?
Mm. Mm. Hey,
Yeah,
that's a great way to
yeah,
end that.
yeah,
Oh man.
yeah.
Amen. Amen.
Tomorrow on Coping with COVID, we're going to talk to Angela Carr Patterson. She is the love lifestyle coach, and she's going to tell you how to love during a pandemic. Coming up next week, we're going to talk with the folks from SC Thrive. They are giving up to $1,500 in rental assistance if you've been affected by COVID. We're going to talk to those folks. And we're also, yes, God is amazing, Raina Perry says. And we're
Yeah.
also going to talk to some other folks that have some grant information. So please continue to watch Coping with COVID Monday through Saturday at 2 p.m. right here on Facebook Live. Jermaine, it was such a pleasure. Thank you so very much. Thank all of you so much for watching, and have a great day. Stay safe and be careful, and God's blessings to you. Bye, y'all.
Thank you.